It's getting recorded, right? Hello.
Yes, Shashank.
Okay. Yeah. So it's a day of the year. Question is like we are given a string date, which represents a Gregorian calendar, which are in the form of YYMMDD, and return the day number of the year. So this is the date, and the date is 9th day of the year in 2019. So the same goes for all the respective examples. Your length will be equal to 10 and 4 and 7 at index 4 and date 4 and date 7 you'll have this, and all others are digits, like separating the year with month and date. And date represents the calendar between 1st of Jan 1900 to December 31st 2K19. Yeah. Yeah, any queries or approach in this?
Hey, Shashank, they haven't said anything in this problem statement that if the input string format is not the way is shown, so if you don't get any of the string format which is shown there, like the Gregorian calendar, so what
Yeah.
is the output we need to return? There's nothing what they have said, right?
Yeah, they haven't said. So what is the style for showing in Gregorian? Like
Yeah, but
same way, right?
that's not so important, right? It's only the string format with the year of 4 digits.
So they
For
can
us,
give opposite also. The first date.
so you are saying the month and date also can be swapped?
Yeah, I'm just asking. Yeah, I follow just
Oh,
this, but
yeah. So I'm
there are.
also looking at this only. So I just thought of maybe if instead of two y's, okay, if
Yeah.
if instead of four y's there are only two y's in the string, so what do I return? Or do I have to check for all of that? Because specifically it is shown there, right?
Four wise. Yeah.
So in a what you say, like a incorrect format, what do I return? If the date of length is lesser than 10, what do I return?
If
Something like an
date,
edge case.
I didn't take any such care. I think
Okay. So we are assuming that it will always be in this
correct
format,
format. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but they have not specified anywhere, right?
No, yeah, they haven't mentioned explicitly, but as a normal, I mean, yeah,
Okay.
they can
Okay.
be, but I haven't taken care.
Okay. No problem.
Yeah,
I think
because
I think the constant says date dot length is equal to 10. It means it will be there. The date of length will never be less than or equal greater than 10.
can yeah,
Okay. I think that's clear now. No problem.
no,
Thank you.
no, no. Yeah, anyone like wants to share the code, like, or so how did you approach Santosh? Like,
Well, the way I was doing, I just went, like did a parsing of the string.
okay,
And when I was parsing, actually, I just looked for the substring. The first substring was the the first four characters.
okay,
Then I left the second one,
month, yeah,
okay, because I'm just checking if it is dash. If it is not, I'm returning -1. Okay, so that is the reason I was asking you, you know.
oh, yeah,
And
got it.
yeah, if then the next one I did, okay, I started from fifth, and then I actually got those two converted into an integer value. It was like first was year, second was month, and the third I did for the last two for the day.
Mm-hmm.
And then I found first thing what I was doing is I looked for whether this year is a whatever the year is given is a leap year,
Deep.
right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So for the leap year, what I'm trying to compare is like, the first thing when I see a leap year or whatever the year is, if I divide it by 4, right? If the modulo of that year is not equal to 0, then I return false, right? So if the modulo of year is modulo of year 400 is not equal to 0, then also I return true.
All
It's
it's like a leap year.
okay. So like if the year is divisible by 4, okay, and if
Hmm.
the year is divisible by if the year is divisible by 4, it means it is a leap year, right? But
Yeah.
if the year is divisible by 100, it doesn't mean it is a leap year, because only the year, if it is divisible by 400, then it is a leap year.
So if it is divisible by 4 and not divisible by 100, then that can be a leap
So
year.
uh,
Or two conditions: either year should be divisible by 400,
right, year should be
or
divisible
you
by 400 or should be divisible by
year,
4,
yeah,
but
by
not by
100
100.
or this, yeah, but by not by 100, yeah, huh,
Right,
sorry,
right, right. So
yeah,
I think that is the only tricky part in this problem.
yeah, leap year
So
taking,
yeah, so if I get a year, a leap year, then I have a lookup table for all the months. Okay, and they
yeah,
keep February as 28. So if it is leap year, I just increment that number over there.
20,
Yeah, 29.
yeah.
And then I
Mhm.
look based on whatever the months I have. Prior to that month, I keep on adding all the days. And then I actually add the last day, what I get from this one, and then return that value, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
So that is the way I did. So it looked very okay, but till I was able to figure out how these leap year, and that is not what you say. I don't remember that usually. That is my problem though.
Yeah, that leap year is,
Yeah. So, but then I have to look somewhere else and find out what that trick was. But this is what I
yeah.
came up with.
Yeah, it's the same like that. You want to share code?
Oh,
Like
you
what
can go
I
ahead.
did
I
is
think both of them the same way, right? Yeah.
same.
You can share.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I split it based on this year month you got, and this is the days calendar for January, Feb, and all. And I'm just checking if it is a leap year, then just make 28 to 29, and just uh, just add that, and then up to m minus one. You take of that particular month. You can take the whatever month is there till that point. You take it from start to the that month. If it is for 9, from till 8 months, you can have it.
Yeah, okay. So the
Mm.
sum, actually the function sum gives a range
It
of
will plug
additions,
up,
right?
add also. Yeah.
Oh,
Mm.
uh, I also did exactly the same way, but only my code is bigger because it's in C++.
C plus, yeah.
And yeah, yours is very
Language.
neatly done. Yeah, about only 3 to 4 lines.
Python does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not this by
Santosh,
putting.
can we see your code?
Yeah, yeah. Let
Okay.
me share.
Okay, let me. Sorry, actually, I didn't open it earlier. Okay, so it is almost the same what he did, but okay, so this is the month array. I think Shashank also did exactly the same. Then I was trying to compare, like I'm just taking the size of date. If it is less than 10, I just return -1. And then I have these special variables for year, month, and date. I'm using ATY to get a convert from any string to integer, and then I'm taking this date substring from first four characters for year. Then I'm actually comparing with dash. If it is not, then I return -1, or else I do it for the month, and then again for the day, and then I find this leap year. Okay, and if it is leap year, I just add 1 to this value, February, and then I keep on iterating till month -1, add that and add number of days and return days. and this is the easy leap year function. So if
That
the
is the
year,
crucial.
sorry.
I'm telling that is the crucial part. Like people forget, like
Yeah,
checking
yeah,
that.
yeah. So it took some time, and now I did a couple of times, so I remember it. But the only tricky thing is if it is year is modulo 4, if it is not, then return false. That is right. So that is the first condition. And if it is divisible by 400, then return true for sure. But at the end, if it is still divisible by 100, then you return false, or else it is true.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's say if you put the if statement on line number 6 before the line number 5, would it still work?
I don't think so. Because, if it is divisible by 100, okay, but if the number was actually divisible by 400, then I'm missing that point, right?
Mm.
So that sequence actually matters.
Yeah, the sequence matter.
Yeah. So we can't help, the leap years are like that. So yeah, so that was it. It was a very simple thing. Only the leap year calculation was something different. But if such a thing comes in and if you don't remember how to find out a leap year, do you actually go and ask the interviewer? I don't know, maybe.
Or you may first assume that you already have function, to
No, but
find a leap
that
year. You return true or false, and then you write the code.
Mhm. No, but in the sense, like now you were also slightly, Leon, saying, if I move those two lines, what will happen? So it might happen that you are not sure. Sometimes it happens, many of the things which are very easy, but still you are not very sure. So is it a good thing to ask interviewer, take help from him?
I
I don't
think,
know.
yeah, Leon, raised a very good point that first assume that there is a function so that at least we can write the code, and then later on probably we can work it out. It depends on the interviewer again, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we can assume a function. That is always a good thing to do.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
think
but
because a lot of people might struggle on that part only, and they will not proceed, right?
yeah,
So that's a red flag.
yeah.
that is the main crux, right? If we use function, then everything is
No,
like
no, no.
that.
It's like this is not the main crux, right? It is about memorization, like whether you remember or not remember. So I will not judge it as like a very very crucial point, honestly,
Mm.
because that's like you know or you don't know, right? And there is nothing you are testing out of it,
Hmm.
right? For example, it doesn't test your capability to code. It doesn't test your capability to break down the problem into small problems or whatnot.
Mm. Makes sense.
So I think honestly, if an interviewer is a good guy or he's looking for something really good, I think he will not judge you on based on that. He will rather judge you on your temperament, whether you are proceeding or not.
Mm.
But even if he judge you on that, he only judge on the a sub function, right? The main frame, the main function. Look at it working, right? So if the leap year is not working, then you would deduct the point, but not allowed. Instead of get stuck there.
So the same thing apply to some other type of questions, some related with the math, so like triangles and other algebra related questions.
Yeah.
You're trying to
That's
Yeah,
you're
but
trying to
but
some
actually, I
concept
think
is
we
required.
need to
You can,
know the basic things for sure. That is right.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
I agree to Leon. So we need to know all the basics. So if you don't know the basics, it's like a bit awkward. So I don't know. It doesn't seem very normal. So that is also. Yeah, we need to know all the programmatical things and how to parse a string and how to write a code very efficiently. But these things are also important, right? Yeah.
Yeah, not.
I
Yeah,
don't know exactly.
yeah, it's a difficult thing, it's a difficult choice, but it's not
I think
easy
as
nowadays.
Gaurav said that it's all depends on interviewer.
Yeah,
What
so
exactly is looking
it,
at.
it, it
Thing is, no,
depends.
no, no. Thing is, if you don't know, you don't know.
Yeah.
Like
That is
what else you
true.
can,
That is
what else
true.
you can do?
Absolutely, absolutely. That is true.
What else you can do
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, this is something actually not logical. It's just whether you remember it or not.
Mm.
That's it.
Yeah. Okay, no problem. So I'll just move on. Thank you.
We can use the library function if
But but Santosh, you are
if we
not
have
the
a,
only one actually. Worry
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah, no, everyone does that because
Yeah.
it happens, You remember a lot of things, but at the time you are there, maybe something misses and you are blank.
Yeah, I
Some
saw
small thing happens.
one more problem related with the date, and that was actually asking the date from a particular date from a particular year till current date, and
Mhm.
and that question was marked as easy. But if somebody don't know, I mean, it's really difficult if you don't know the calendar.
Oh, you are saying to find the weekday?
No, you have to number of days from that particular date. So like if I say that,
Okay.
okay, so 29 September 1956,
Mhm.
and you have to get the until today, what is the total number of days?
Mhm. Yeah,
Unix time kind of, right?
yeah,
Like it started from there till now. What is your timing or something?
yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
so if your mind go blank, what would you do? It's I have that
Yeah.
problem a lot because normally I come to interview and I cannot sleep the first night in the hotel. So when I
Yeah,
get up, I drink a lot of coffee, but it happened to me a lot.
yeah.
You
No,
are
but
not alone.
yeah, but as Gaurav said, if you know, know. If you don't know, no, don't know. That's all.
In
Maybe,
this
Like
case, I know, but it's just blank mind. It's like,
yeah. Better try next time.
Yeah.
No
Uh,
problem. Sorry about that. I just trying to be on the lighter side. Okay.
no, it's good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's move on.
Your next is like shifting of letters. We are given a string of lowercase and integer array shift. You need to call shift of a letter. The next letter in the alphabet wrapping around Z becomes A. For example, shift of A is B, T is U, and Z is A. Now for each shift X, we need to say the first I plus one letters of X, S, X times. Yeah, and return the final. So what we're saying, like ABC is given. These are the shift that we need to perform. So you take first one. When you take look for three, uh, increase A by three. Like go to the C. I mean A, B, and C. C and D. Sorry, three characters will be D. Now next time when you hit five, you have to take both these strings. Like A and B has to be repeated five times. So you can see that A will be repeated here eight times then, because already it has shifted to D. Now it will go to I. So three times there and five times is eight, and B will be shifted five. Now when you hit nine, has to be shifted by nine times. So in this case, your A will be shifted by 3, 5, 8, 9, 17 times, and B will be shifted by 14 times, and C will be shifted by 9 times only. And the constraints are like s dot length, that is equal to shift dot length, which is less than equal to 20k, and each array element of shift will be less than 10 key power 9 greater than equal to 0. Yeah.
So Shank, when you are saying that, can you scroll up? Yeah. So for this example, so when you are processing the index 2, which is 5, right? So you have
Yeah.
to apply that on the resulting string from the previous step, right?
Yeah, yeah. From the
Not the
beginning,
ABC, not the ABC, but DBC, right? Because after
DBC, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
on DBC you have to apply. That's why it moved to here, I,
okay, got it.
because eight times it shifted. Yeah, correct. Yeah, any.
So in the node, the length
Yeah.
of, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go
Yeah.
ahead. Yeah.
So in my opinion, it looks like a pre-sum problem in which we just need to proceed from the right to the left by
Yeah.
counting, and then we can get the output. Yeah.
Yeah, prefix some kind of, you can say.
If we proceed from the right and count, like the third will be the 9 times, second one will be the 9 plus 5, first one will be the 9 plus 5 plus 3. So it looks like, yeah, okay.
17.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, that's correct.
That is what I was thinking too. I think it was Lokesh, right?
Yeah.
Lokesh, sorry, yeah. Do you want to share your approach?
No, I don't have done that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it came to
And
my
is
mind.
that given that the size for the string, length of the string, and the shift array of the array size for the also shift array size will be same?
Shift array size is
Yeah,
not
so
the same.
the
String length and shift length will be same. Not, yes.
Oh yeah, they both have to be same, right? Even if they are not shown there, they have to be the same.
If you have two strings, two characters and three shifts, that's again bullshit, right?
why they has to be same?
Yeah,
But you'll
Why?
have third character as
that
null,
is
right?
implicit.
But
That is implicit. I don't think so. You can do without the shifts being lesser than the S.
no,
Yeah.
if it's less than, let's say if the input is just 3, 5, then output should be IGC, right?
Yeah, that is correct. But let's say if your character S only AB you are having here, and you are having here 3, then
Then it will be DBC, right?
no, characters are only AB. I'm saying C is not there,
So
and
then
3 is
then
there.
it will be DB.
Well, I don't think so. You have to have both of them same, because if you look at the note also, what it says, S dot length is equal to shifts dot length.
Yeah, length is equal, should be equal.
They are equal.
Oh yeah, yes, you are right. Yeah,
Yeah.
you are right.
Because I also started with that, but then when I started coding, then I looked, okay, I thought maybe if I make something here and there, some of the lengths, but then I realized it can't be, because if you have to calculate the prefix sum the way Lokesh was saying, you have to have both of them the same lengths. You can't do it.
Yeah, and it doesn't make any sense, right? If it is less, or could be.
Yeah, when you just look at the problem, you think, okay, it might be possible, but if you start coding, you will come to know it. I can't explain it now very well, but when I started implementing, then I thought, okay, this is not possible.
Yeah, if somebody wants to share the code, concept is clear, only prefix some problems kind of.
Was this the only approach, or is there something else also, Shashank?
I think this only. There might be. I need to try. They might be used, but the same thing too.
They also
This
talk
is
about the prefix sum, right?
Yeah, same only.
What is the brute force approach? We should go one by one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
start from the left and go one by one. Yeah,
And then go
this
backward. Right. Every time we go to the next one, we have to go backwards so we can skip the previous one as well.
So n square, right? Like if you are at C, you'll go to first again. Every
No, I would do it from the left to right if it's a brute force. I'll start with A, B, C. First, I will just start with the first index of shift. Okay.
I think the second loop will go up to I.
Yeah.
no. So when you are B, you'll go to A, right? From A again, you will start. No. From A, I mean from D. You.
So first I will do A. I just shift 3. And then when I come to B, means when I come to B, then I again start with A, right, for the 5, right? Then I do A 5 times and B 5 times, don't do anything on C. Then for the third, And then I do 9 for A, 9 for B, and 9 for C, something like that.
Yeah,
That's still n square.
Yeah, it's
No,
n
it won't
square.
be
yeah,
n
that's
square.
n square. Yeah.
N
Only
square, yeah.
26 letters at max it will have, right? No, repetition can be there, right, in string.
Oh no,
B,
but
B.
the shifts might be bigger, no? The shifts in S dot length, S size and the shift size might be bigger. It is 20,000, right?
And it,
If you've seen the notes, they are, so it's nothing to do with the, what do you say, the character.
okay.
But if it's a brute force, I will keep on shifting it. I'm not going to go do the modulo 26 there. Why I should? Because it's brute force, right? I want to hit the
No, but
TLE.
If we know the shift amount, then we can shift C in the correct position in the first place, the first time, right? Because like 3 times 5, is that 3 times 5 times 9 or 3 times 5 plus 9 something?
3
Then
plus
if
5
we
plus
apply that to C, we know that C is going to be correct in
Yeah.
that position. Then we apply to the previous character.
Yeah, so you're talking about the prefix some way, right?
Oh, is that the same? Okay.
It's almost similar, yeah. Because when you calculate what the shift is going to be there, then you find what the index of that letter is in the 26 number, add to that, and this modulo of 26, you'll get the exact position. Right, Shashank?
Yeah. Yeah, like if somebody wants, I can share. Code is like, yeah. If somebody wants to share.
No, you go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So it's like length of shift I calculated and converted it entire string to the list, which will be length of shift only. And after that, I'm converting it to this, what you said, ASCII value, relative ASCII value. This will be used over here. And first I'm doing shift operation, like your first will be 359. I'll start. I'll first 3 plus 5 plus 9, 5 plus 9, and this. Every time I'll shift this character, and depending on that, just take the relative ASCII value, add the shift value, and take the mod if it makes you reach till last, and just append the string.
Yeah. So Python is doing all the magic to handle the overflow.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just one observation, okay? Nothing different here. But in Python, you have to have indentations, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But in between the line 9 and 10, I know it's nothing to do with the indentation, but you are keeping 2 lines. So is it on purpose or it has just happened?
I think that is
I
acceptable.
accepted it. It should work. So
So
you are telling that space between these two?
no, the line number 9 and 10, you have extra line and 10, right?
Yeah, 9 is the
They are
empty
blank.
line. 9
So
and 10.
is it on purpose or the Python needs that too?
No. It's on. I might have used something here initially, but I forgot.
Oh, okay. You forgot to clean up.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry. I thought it was something to do with the Python.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a question.
Sure.
So generally, we won't do a plus b whole modulo. We do a modulo plus b modulo whole modulo. I'm not sure why it is, but I think we have to do a modulo plus b modulo whole modulo.
I think both are same only. You are saying a plus b whole within a bracket and then modulo, right?
Yeah, but you need to do a modulo plus b modulo. Then you need to do whole modulo.
That is called rolling hash. What you are saying? Like a modulo, again you do b modulo, and then again on the top of it you'll again do one modulo, right?
I think it's so it can avoid overflow, right? If you do individual one, then you can avoid overflow.
That is a good practice, I would say.
Yeah, I've seen that in rolling hash function somewhere. Like they're using this. Yeah.
Hey, Dilip, do you have something to share? You want to actually?
Yeah. No.
I have the same code, same approach, but I just did that a modulo plus b modulo whole modulo.
No problem. Just share it.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
It's like while calculating the mid, we do L plus B minus A, that rather than we could have taken L plus R by 2.
Yeah.
Kind of
So
same.
yeah.
Yeah, because yeah, go ahead. Yeah, sorry.
So I just did the same thing. Like like suffix the shift array. Like I created the shift array from backside. So I took the suffix sum. Then for each element in the string, I just calculated that. But the thing I did is first initially I calculated the uh, ASCII value of this character. Then I did the modulo with the 26. Then I did a modulo for the shift index too. And on the whole, I did the shift modulo. So that's what I was confused with why do we really need to do this modulo inside like A modulo and B modulo. Then I joined the stream and returned that.
What advantage you are getting out of it? Avoiding overflow, kind of.
So I really why, but like every time when we do A plus B whole modulo or A minus B or A multiplied by B, you need to do A modulo plus the operation plus B modulo on whole modulo, and
So,
this won't work for A by B. Like only for division it won't work.
Yeah, I think what you are doing is explicit way of doing that. That is good. But if it is the operation is like multiplication, then I think that it might matter a lot. But if it's a addition or subtraction, I'm not sure whether it is okay. If you have, it's not a problem. If you don't have, also that's still okay.
Because
But I
in
would take it
multiplication,
more
we-
care if it's
Based on my understanding, I think this only holds for addition and subtraction. For example, if you wanted to do A plus B modulus, right? So that's basically A mod B, and sorry, let's say you wanted to do A mod B, sorry, A plus B mod X, right? So it should be A mod X plus B mod X overall mod X, right? And how it's helping you out is, for example, let's say A and B are quite large numbers, that if you do A plus B mod something, that has already overflow, right? So that's how you basically prevent from overflowing, because now you have taken the A mod B, A mod X plus B mod X plus overall mod X, so that the value
what
is
if you
that,
control?
but it doesn't overflow.
Yeah.
It's like in
Yeah,
C++
you're right.
like that. So it's like
This formula doesn't hold for multiplication, by the way. This is only for the addition and subtraction.
But in rolling hash, I think I have seen.
No,
that
no.
multiplication works.
This formula is, yeah, you're right. There's nothing to do with multiplication. But if I'm trying to look at if it's going to overflow, so most of the time it overflows only when you have multiplications. Yeah, but the addition also will overflow if the number is high.
No, yeah. Like for example, if
You're
it's
right.
into like a max value plus one, right? So if you do max value plus one modulus something, it really doesn't solve the purpose of modulus, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to take the max number modulus something plus one modulus something,
Yeah.
and overall modulus.
Yeah, I'll
Could
try
you-
to be I'll try to be more cautious. So I'll always do that way, the way he's doing it.
could you explain why it does not hold for multiplication?
It should hold, as I would say. But he's saying that this will hold for the addition also.
Oh, this formula, because I read that this is only because it's a plus b modulus x. That formula itself is for that. I think I'm not very good at modulo algebra, but if I remember correctly, it's
If
only
you have
hold.
exact divisible number, then when you apply modulo, you will get return at 0. And then if you have another number which you multiply, then 0 multiplied by 0 is 0. That's why you cannot use it with multiplication and division.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah.
Can you repeat once more?
So you have, suppose you have 5 modulo 2, or sorry, tan modulo 2 and plus tan modulo 2. So like if you have plus, then you have 20 modulo 2, right? Which is, or let me take another example. So 10 modulo 2 and 11 modulo 2. So you do
0 plus
10
1.
modulo 2 plus 11, 10 modulo 2 is 0, and then 11 modulo 2 is
1.
1.
1. So the addition would be 0 plus 1 and answer is 1. So if you do
Yeah.
like a plus b, which is 10 plus 11, 21 modulo 2 is also answer 1. But if you have multiplication, then 10 modulo 2 is 0. And then if you have multiplication of, let's say, 11 modulo 2, so that becomes like 0 multiplied by 1.
Yeah, yeah.
It's 0. Yeah.
Zero.
Yeah, you're right. So yeah, it doesn't make sense for a multiplication. Yeah, you're right. So in multiplication, you have to multiply and then take a modulo.
Yes, yeah, multiplication and division both, because division may run into like divide by 0 error.
Yeah.
Exception.
Yeah, thanks. Stop sharing.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
It's a basic calculator. Need to implement, evaluate the simple expression string. The string may contain open braces, closed with a plus minus sign, and non-negative integers and empty space. 1 plus 1, 2, 3. You may assume given expression is always valid, and we are not supposed to use any built-in library. Yeah, any approach or this? It's again more of a language-based sims. I mean,
It's not language based.
not
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
But I think whenever such thing comes, I would always think of a stack,
Yeah.
and then again it is a string parsing problem. So you just keep on parsing it, and then first look for if you have a, open brackets, yeah,
Yeah.
and keep on actually evaluating the sum, because it's only plus and minus, right? So you can easily evaluate whatever the result are. Then if you want to push it, you push it. So wait till the closing parenthesis and then evaluate the complete sum. Something like that, yeah. And it is non-negative, so you don't have to even think of what you say, the negative integer value, right? Because you just have to do minus and plus. But the only challenge is you have an empty space, but in your language you can take care very easily. Yeah, you can take care in C++ also, but it is always good to have a parse character by character in this particular problem. Yeah, but yeah, I
But
did
these 2
implement
digits
it.
also you can get at times.
Sorry?
I'm telling at times you can have 2 digit also, like instead of 1 you can have 12.
Yeah, so you'll have to evaluate that, right? You'll have to calculate it first.
Why this problem is marked hard?
Yeah, it is hard
Because
actually.
everything you have to take care of, like
Yeah.
There are many
Lots
edge
of
cases.
edge cases.
Yeah.
Mm,
It is not easy also as it looks, because normal,
yeah.
if you have to evaluate the parenthesis, if you have only the open and close parenthesis, that is still medium problem, but this is slightly more than that.
Way
It
beyond
looks
that.
like marked hard and
Operative precedence is also we have to take care of, I think.
I'm
Means
sorry?
operator precedence means
Yeah,
whether plus
operator
is there or
precedence,
minus
plus
is
minus.
there.
But do you really need that? Because either you do it plus or minus. So if it is minus, you can just negate the value of the current
yeah, if it's plus
operand, right?
minus, then there's no need to worry about. It will be always left to right.
Yeah. Operators and precedence comes in picture only when you have, that is my understanding, is if you have something like plus, yeah, multiplication. But
Multiplication.
if it is with the brackets, the parentheses, then I think,
Then
yeah, there might be something to, yeah, think about, yeah.
Importance, yeah. That plus will be given more importance.
Yeah,
Yes,
I think
if
what
it is,
she's saying is correct. Yeah,
yeah.
that way, yeah, you need
One question. Is
Yeah.
a single stack here enough, or do we need to create a expression tree?
No, I think single stack should use single stack only. I mean, there can be other ways also, like
Yeah, looks like single stack will be enough because
open and close braces only. If there was no, I mean, if we hadn't that this open and close braces without stack also, we could have done this by simple parsing. Because of this close and open braces, we are using stack.
okay.
Yeah, if somebody wants to share in some other language, like or anything. Okay, let me share what I first did. Like,
So like
yeah,
one question. So anyway, we have only addition and subtraction. Does the parenthesis make any change even if we remove them? Like
what
in the example, even if we remove all parentheses, aren't we going to get the same answer?
I think it should. Let's try. If you so 4 plus 1 5, 5 5 is 10, 12, 12 minus 3 9. 9 plus 14 is 23. Yeah.
So it's like we don't need to consider parentheses in this problem.
I thought the same. Try to
I,
code it.
I
and
think, I mean,
sample.
the minus will only make difference here. Otherwise, if it's all the positive, then parentheses will not make any difference. But if inside the parentheses, the number output is negative, then it may make difference.
Yes. So example is 2 minus, this is 5 minus 6.
If here this plus, if we add minus and no brackets, that can create.
No, then also that will not create any issues. If the result is coming out of the bracket is a negative, and then there is a negative as well.
No, negative you can't get. Oh,
Yes, I'm telling you example, right? 2 minus
Okay,
bracket, 2 minus parenthesis, 5 minus 6.
Can you write down?
Yeah, I think Gaurav, he was talking about the test case, right?
Yeah. I'm talking about a test case.
Do you want to show it on a notepad or something like that?
Sure. Can you just?
Yeah.
sure.
Design.
Yeah. Somehow this problem is not that easy, which I thought. So this is one of the examples. Okay. Which, if we remove the bracket, the answer would be 2 minus 5 minus 6. If we don't, it will be 2 minus 1. 2 minus minus 1, right?
No, it should be 2 minus 5 plus 6 now.
2 minus 5 minus 6, right? Because you remove the bracket.
Plus minus in 2 minus should be 4.
Yeah, you are right. You are right in the sense because you are doing your calculation.
Evaluating, right? You should not, right?
You should
Because
not,
he's
right?
saying just remove the brackets and then hey.
Okay.
Yeah, that won't work.
Yeah,
Actually,
got it.
if we go the evaluation way, that will become even more difficult because what if parenthesis inside parenthesis?
Yeah.
Yep.
That will be a super hard problem.
Yeah. I don't even know what.
Yeah. Yep, that's a good test case, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I
It
didn't
explains a lot.
I just tried to run my code and it came out. So that's one thing, right? And the other thing which I was actually initially doing is this, right? So the example given to us, which is this one. This one, right? So if you look at this example, what I was trying to do, I was just using the stack as you recommended, right? But in the stack, what I was pushing is basically 2, then minus, then 1. I'm not sure what Shashank or what you guys have done in the stack, but what I usually do is this, right? So this will be my stack, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I pop it from the back. So if I pop it from the back, it will come as 2 plus 1 right? Then I will,
Copy, or you are put
you always pop from the back, right? So it will
from below your data.
yeah, it will come 2, it will come 1, and then you will push it back, right? So it will become 3. So now the stock becomes 2 minus
minus
3.
Three,
And so if you
one,
do it again, you will get 2 minus 3, which
one,
is 2 minus 3,
minus one, minus one.
which is not the answer. This is also a mistake I did, just to bring you out, guys. Because we usually think, oh, once we have this check, once we have in this stack everything, we can just pop it because it's always a plus and minus and no precedence. But this is also I faced an issue.
Does
Yep.
it mean that minus has more preference than plus?
No, no. It's not about preference. It's about the sign.
It's about the
No.
order of execution.
Exactly.
You are
If you
copying.
use BODMAS, I think addition has more preference compared to subtraction, right? MAS it comes like subtraction, addition, multiplication. So addition is given more preference compared to sub.
But
The rule of BODMAS I was.
but when you evaluate, okay, the first of all, the rule of BODMAS doesn't apply to computer systems. So you should see the precedence.
Okay.
So the plus minuses both have the same precedence.
Okay.
Yeah.
But because we are using the stack, it appears as if we are putting an implicit bracket around the second operation.
That's true. That's a mistake, right?
So that will have to be handled. It is kind of a special case, just like increasing. What is that? There is monotonic increasing stack. That kind of way we'll have to handle it.
Yeah. Or I was thinking about, like, remember that the problems which we used to have about evaluation of expressions, where we put brackets explicitly everywhere, and then we can just use the stack as it is, but we have to take care of the brackets.
Yeah, already brackets are there. Now it is going to be. So that is where probably expression trees will be.
Yeah, exactly. I'm actually going towards that direction now, that we should use an expression tree for evaluating this. So that used to be infix, right? Postfix, infix,
infix to postfix.
Yeah, you actually change it to that way, right? First, okay.
Yeah.
That will be much easier. Yeah.
Yeah. After that, I think once we do that, then it will become much easier. Then I think it will be straightforward. I think that's my understanding.
But that conversion is also slightly tricky sometimes.
Yeah, that's also true. Like,
it's not an easy thing. Okay, no problem.
Yeah, but just wanted to bring this out as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a good one.
Thank you.
So Shashank, how you did that?
Yeah, actually, first pass through all the strings. You can, the whatever string you have, and if you find that if it is a digit, just I converted it to your, like if you have 2-digit number, I just converted into what do you say, to decimal format. 9 norm cross 10 plus int of c, right? This you got.
Okay, yeah. So you're trying to create that integer.
Yeah.
Integer, yeah. Then I'm checking if there is any plus or minus. So if you find whichever sign it is, if the sign is plus or minus, accordingly you multiply them. Like if C is or minus, put -1, else you put +1. And whenever you see a open, open parenthesis, then append it to you append that result to the stack, and then append the corresponding sign, whatever you are having, and reinitialize your rest to 0. And whenever you see this, just pop it out from, first you add that sign into num and start popping out the numbers out of it. And I'll just return we can take example if you want.
So you first push the whatever the number is in the stack, and then you push the sign.
Yeah.
And if it is positive, the sign will be just 1. Okay.
Just one thing, like what is this? Why you multiply in with a number into sign? What's the rationale behind it? In the line number 12.
Yeah, just to, I mean, if it is a negative, then number into -1. If you do, then only that. I'm taking num always as positive. If it is sign is +1, then num into 1 will be same only. But if it is -1, then to convert that number to minus, you need to multiply. So that part I'm doing.
Okay, then what is the rationale behind putting the sign again? Because you have already taken care of that inside number, right?
Yeah.
So why you're pushing at line number 17? I'm a little confused.
I think what he is doing is the previous first he is actually doing only the number, because initially the sign will be just 1. But when you find a sign, then he's actually evaluating that sign, right? So for the next one, the next operand, okay, so he's using that sign. Correct, Shashank?
Yeah, it's yeah.
Not clear.
It's like, I think we have to take some. Let's take this example, I think.
But as Gaurav was saying, can you do without just commenting the sign, whatever you are doing on line number 12? Will it still work?
Let's try, I think.
No, you'll have to keep that number.
You keep the number, but remove the sign, into sign.
Okay.
Both at line numbers 12 and 21.
No, but he'll have to keep somewhere that sign, right?
Yeah, but he's pushing into the stack.
Or
Right?
21. Okay.
But the sign should be used for the effective.
And also 25.
Oh, yeah. Shall I pick this one?
But that might be required, because at the end, if you just have the sign and number, okay, let's see.
I think
it's a string.
Yeah. Now here comes. So.
This difference, that -3 was not counted, so that's why it brought 6 difference between output and expected, so it is -3. Instead of -3, we added that number, so from expected we went up by 6.
Yeah. 14, 3, 17. 3, 2, 5, 5, 10, 14, 15. And
yeah, you won't be able to make it out from this one, but yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, but this was slightly confusing to me, right? Because once you have put all the numbers with their sign, right? Then all you can do is just add them. You don't need to put signs, right? That's what a little confusing to me.
Yeah, so if you have
maybe he's pushing the sign so that in the next bracket he might come up with something.
Yeah, that is what nested brackets if you have no. So then next sign when you can, that is for operation. Like if you have two signs, 5 minus 3 within a bracket, and again -10 if you have.
Yeah. Now,
something like that.
Yeah, that's really tricky thing, right? Yeah. That's good actually. Now I understand that you always put the number with a sign, but then you will use the stack sign for the next operations if there's a bracket or something.
Yeah.
And then also you are doing a res into stack plus top.
I think I've seen some similar problem somewhere, so usually use a sign for the next operand. Yeah, I thought it might be similar. Yeah, it's okay.
Could you please share the code? It is really
good.
Yeah, but first you actually run this, and then maybe there's something missing there, because we modified it right now, right?
Yeah. I mean, you had asked me to submit or run the
Yeah,
example.
submit.
Submit, yeah.
So, no, but
Because-
I've changed the sign.
Yeah, because you will give some wrong code to someone and then he will keep on struggling there.
Yeah.
Just-
That will be a problem.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll put it in the.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, I think it's caps.
Then
No, it's wrong. Q5.
Yeah, maybe you can do that later.
Okay.
We'll just finish our problems.
Shashank, can you walk through the example like you were doing in the comment? How it
Yeah,
works?
sure. I think that will be better.
No, but take a simpler one. Don't go for the larger one. You know.
Or just that 2 bracket 5 minus 6, something
Yep.
that each case. Yeah.
This one you are saying.
But we want brackets.
No, Gaurav, which Gaurav given? Yeah, 2 minus
was that?
5 minus 6.
2 minus 5.
Minus 6 and 5 minus 6 was in bracket, I think.
Yeah. 2 minus
Here.
bracket and then 5 minus 6 close bracket.
Okay. Yeah, we can do this. Yeah. So you go to the first is a digit, right? It's a single digit only, so you take it as a 2, no problem. Then what they are doing? Yeah, once you see any of the, let me make the resultant as 0. So whenever you see any of the digits, you see the sign, what we do, your res plus whatever num is there, this, wait. So if you see res plus num into sign, so num is your 2 into the sign what you have seen is minus. So if you multiply it with this will be your res will be equal to minus 2 as of now, right?
No, but your sign now is only 1, right? Because when you are multiplying that, if you go up.
Yeah.
So in this case, now currently the sign should be only 1, correct?
Sign is 1, then it should be 2, I think.
No, I'm asking. I'm not saying that it is. So you see here, when you are actually
Minus
on
2.
line 12.
Line number 4, it is sign is equals to 1.
1, initially it's 1 only.
Okay, yeah. So now you are coming to line number 12, right? Okay, so at that time it will be 1, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
So initially it will be 2 into 1, right?
So it
Your
looks
num
to
is
me you are correct. It's correct, right? My understanding is correct. I'm just trying to understand it. Okay.
Yeah, right. And then we check if the sign is equal to.
Okay.
If the character is -1, then we do that minus.
minus. So
This
minus
will
2
be
it will
plus
be as
2.
of now.
This will be +2.
In the next step it will be like, yeah, this will be +2. Then we are checking if your sign, now we'll make it sign to -1 for the next one.
Okay.
We'll update this to -1. Earlier it was 1. Now next character we'll update it to -1. So after that, again your initialization also we have to check it. Num is your 0. They have made num to 0. Now you saw this, what do you say, open braces.
Open bracket or parent.
So when you see the open braces, then stack, let's keep the stack, and stack to that you append the result and you append the sign. So your sign will be previous sign will be -1, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you append this. Now when you see this, what do you say?
Now you made sign 1 after you
No,
append.
-1 after appending it. After appending, I made the sign 2. Rest will be 0 now.
Yeah.
Your rest will be 0 and you make sign to 1.
Kind of, we are starting with a new sub problem, so we are basically resetting the signal.
Correct,
Yeah, every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you're opening it right now.
Yeah. So 5 we haven't encountered till now. Now you take 5. Again you encountered the digit. So rest will be your what? Rest plus is equal to 5 into whatever sign you have as of now. Sign is your this, so it will be 5. And after that, now you have to check your next is minus. So this sign will be updated to -1 and your num will be made to 0. Num was, yeah, it's already 0. Now again you encountered 6. So when you encountered 6, what will happen is it will be like res plus, that is 5 plus 6 it will be, and your sign is -1, so it will multiply by -1, and so it will result around to -1, right? -1, yeah. Now you encounter your this. When you encounter this, we have to append it. No, we don't have to append. We will not face this. We'll face directly this. Now res will be or equal to, so now till now your res is -1. Your res will be equal to num into the sign. And what is num? Num is 0, right? It's 0 only. Yeah, num is 0 because we were here, right? Now we jump to this portion.
Right.
So 0 into res into this will be 0 only. And now res star, whatever res you are having, star of stack.pop. If you pop it, it will be -1. So 1 into -1, this will be equal to your 1. And again, res plus is equal to stack. Whatever you have next element in your stack is 2 plus 2 should be 3. Is this the answer? Yeah. 5 minus 6 minus 1, 2 minus 2 plus 1, 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there is the sign actually, the variable has a lot of implementation details in it. Yeah.
Yeah. So that extra sign multiplying takes care of that. If you have result within the braces as minus, if it is positive, no issues. But if it is minus, that will make it plus. So that sign.
But yeah, but this problem is not the way you
intuitive,
implement it is not very intuitive. Yeah.
Yeah.
It works perfectly fine.
No, I saw this and then implemented. It's not.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. No, I'm just talking loud. Yeah.
But it's not that intuitive. Like I'm seeing, because had it been intuitive, I wouldn't have seen this code much time. Like we'll get a pattern, but here every time everything is coming. So sequence is like every time you see the new operation, you update the sign, and once you come across a number, before switching to the next number, you make it to 0.
No, but I think the way Gaurav and Rajendra both were talking about, like having a expression tree will always help. So we might have to,
go for that. I think.
Yeah, practice on that and have a good understanding of it, how to implement that. That will be very helpful. In that.
So in expression tree, we'll go from bottom. From bottom, get the result and add it to give it to the root, and then again subsequently go up. Is it, or from top to bottom?
Expression tree needs to be evaluated from bottom up, because top down. So I think I don't know why I think like that, but yeah, it looks like it should be evaluated bottom up.
Yeah, it looks like kind of postfix, like from bottom you evaluate and give the result to up, and then subsequently again. I'm not sure.
Because it depends on how the tree is formed with respect to the brackets. It looks like if there is a bracket, we are going one level deep. That's why, because the innermost bracket must be evaluated first. So the more the depth, that should first be evaluated. So it is bottom up.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a bottom up. That's true. But I think at the same time, it should be like an in order, right?
Why you have to have a prefix tree, right?
Yeah, like I think usually in the expression tree, all the non-leaf node holds the plus minuses, right? And the leaves.
Yeah, it's in order only, like because plus is A plus B.
So A is a leaf node, B is a leaf node, and the plus is basically the non-leaf node, right?
Yeah.
So and when you evaluate it, you basically takes the left expression, the right expression, and then apply. So that's basically the not in order, but
First you visit the root.
first you
Leaf,
basically
leaf.
leaf, right? So first you basically visit the left leaf and then the right leaf and then they apply the operations, right? So I think if we go along this direction, so it will be.
So while evaluating, you'll have to use a stack. If it's a prefix, you then push all the operators inside the stack.
Mhm.
And then whenever you hit an operand, actually, you try to find out what operation it is on the top. And then you take the next operand.
Yeah, I think I forgot, like, but
Yeah, I'm also trying to recollect,
because I did like many years back.
Right. But it will be very helpful in such cases, we should actually revise it. That is what I'm trying to say.
Exactly, that's
Yeah,
true.
so,
Because if we know those tricks, we can just directly apply and we are done.
right. So it will be very easy instead of going all this route. This looks very easy implementation, but it's very difficult in the interview.
Exactly, like because there are tons of edge cases, we might screw it up, right?
Yep. So you both guys, you brought that up. It's really good. I think we should revise
I
that.
will try to implement it, and if I get anything substantial, I will just post on the Slack.
Yeah, please do that. Yeah, that will be helpful. Yeah. So actually, I was ignoring it earlier. I said, okay, it's not going to be so, much of a very frequent question problem. But looking at these issues, I think we should.
And honestly, I always struggle in these kinds of problems. Whenever you have to parse a string, it's always a hard problem.
Right.
I've never seen a medium problem of those things. I think it's always difficult because of the edge cases, because of whatnot.
If it's only there are only single character like the open and close bracket parenthesis, then it's easy. Other than that, if you don't have anything, then it is easy. Just evaluate the whole expression. But if you have all the numbers in between and all the operations, then it's slightly difficult. I agree.
Does these guys have implemented the solution the same way which we were discussing?
Yeah, I think the second one is like that only. This one, see.
Oh, you mean to say the solution?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. They have also implemented in a very different way. They are
They have
using a
printed
stack.
DS. Yeah.
It's slightly difficult to understand also, but yeah, I just gave up because I did not have much time yesterday.
Okay.
I think it's same like sign they are using.
Yeah, they are actually the same thing which you did, right? And then just do an addition of everything.
So in that case, what they are trying to use is they are using a stack, and which is the stack is of object type, so they can push anything in it. Object type stack.
So they won't care for sign. I mean, this is one object, right? Minus b.
Yeah. So even they are pushing the parentheses as well as the numbers and the signs. Doesn't make sense, but it's okay. That is what the way it is.
So let's check if somebody can come up with expression tree, then that will be a better one.
Yeah, I think as he said, we should all. So if he's posting some solution, that will be helpful.
And the average rating itself is 5-star.
Yeah, this is honestly, this is like one of the questions which is mostly asked in the interviews.
That's important.
These kinds of questions are favorite for interviewers. They just ask one question, and it's these kinds of questions. You don't need any special tricks or not, right? All you need is whether you're good at it, good at coding or not.
Sasan, could you also?
Yeah. So let's think I should stop sharing, right?
Sasank, I have one question. One request for you. So sure. Before that, the second question that you were showing, it was really succinct also.
Yeah, this one.
Yes, correct. Yeah. So it is a good one, a good use of Python, all the things that Python provides.
Yeah, that's true.
Now he is very good at that. So he does use all the tricks of Python.
Actually, I was in ML role, so Python there we had lot of this play with the regex operation or CSV file, everything there. So I think here also very few operations we are using in normal coding, but there things makes it much more easier. Like lot many libraries are written very,
Wow.
so that gives a edge over this.
That's
I
good.
think if this is in C++, it might, how many lines here? It's only 25, right?
Yeah.
So it will cross at least double, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
Something like that. Mhm.
Nice. If you could share the
So
code.
yeah, sure, I'll share it in the paste bin. I'll share it all. So does it matter, create any impact or what, the language during the interview? Like if I use Python, if somebody use C++, then since C++ is bit more harder than Python to implement. So
No, I don't think so. Why? They usually say, right, whatever language you are comfortable, you just show that. Use it, right?
I doubt, yeah, I mean, that will make any difference with,
Yeah, it should not.
but yeah, if they specifically wants a guy from C++ or Java, then only it make difference. Otherwise,
because when I
don't think
see,
so.
when I participate in some of the contests in Hacker Earth, there they restrict that you have to go only with Java, JavaScript.
Maybe that guy knows only that, then.
No, that
Maybe they build a platform only for those languages. That's the
yeah,
only thing.
Yeah.
the automated George, the program which basically runs it, maybe they have only that is capable of only running Java or something.
No, but it's on a Hacker Rank, no, and Hacker Rank has all the, like, I mean, all the languages it permit, but they restrict it. They intentionally fix that. No, you are supposed to
Is it always
consume.
or sometimes?
Always, sometimes in some companies only I've seen
Oh,
they'll
some
focus,
companies, right? So because they might be looking for specifically, that's
Yeah.
but that's again a trouble, right?
no, you cannot.
Even
Like
in,
for
if
example, there are companies which want Python, and then you cannot go and write C++.
no, let's say like I started learning Java now. Slowly I'm learning. But even if I know data structure and I can implement that better in a Pythonic way rather than Java, I'll be out of the game, right? In that case.
I don't think so.
Mhm.
Why should?
Actually, looking at the way you are writing Python, I am interested to learn Python actually.
Yeah, exactly. And in fact, if you write such a code in the interview, the guy will be more impressed. In fact, he would not know much about that too,
Yeah,
So
but
you'll have to explain it more there.
someone really has a
In fact,
interview experience in Python, they can actually share more about
Yeah.
during the interview whether interviewer actually really allow all these inbuilt function or you have to care about yourself.
if